Hi everyone, this is Jess, aka Sketchwriter Jess. Tonight is a harvest moon, and tomorrow is like the official full moon. So I thought it would be fun to do a pick a card so that you had a little more control over how you were planning on doing your manifestation for the full moon. Right now I've got the crystal set. Got the crystal set for the shuffling portion of this. As you'll notice, I don't really have an intro for tonight. I thought I would just do a wrap up at the end because you know it's the full moon, so there should be some kind of wrap up. Anyway, there'll be 3 piles. And in all of them, I'm going to go down the list of the astrological signs. I'll be just listing things to watch out for your sign. And so each pile will have that. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be choosing more than one pile. But there's no wrong way to do this. Tonight I'm using crystals from my friend Jennifer. I bought them from her shop, Swords and Cups Esoterics on Etsy. Just type in swords and in the shops, for the shop part, hit shop, and it'll come up with all the shops. That's the easiest way to find it. Okay. I feel like there's one more thing. I used the Cosmic Tarot deck. And I use the Notes from the Universe Tarot deck. The spread has 3 parts. It has the seeds that you'll be planting. It has the goals you'll be setting. And the tasks you'll be doing. And that just means it's not so much that the cards are telling you what to do. It's more like what you're thinking, you know, what your process is going to be. Like going through your head as you're listening to everything. So, you know, take what you want, leave what you want. You don't have to take any of it. I mean, the full moon is really special. So, I mean, if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But I'm hoping it'll resonate with you. Full moon is special. The 13th day is special for me. Friday the 13th especially, because my grandpa, who's my guardian angel, was born on the 14th. So, it's always been like a lucky number for me. So hopefully maybe some of my luck will rub off on you guys. And be sure to stay till the end to see the final blessings. So, with that, I'll begin. Start shuffling with the Cosmic Tarot. I have a clear quartz here. This is good for like setting clear intentions. And citrine is good for creativity. So I'm calling on Spirit and Angel Uriel. And, okay. Let's get started. Chatty little deck today, huh? So what have we got for everybody? What kind of messages can we send everybody for all the signs today? That's fire, water, air, and earth. What can we all gather from this full moon? What kind of guidance can we get for setting our intentions for best life we want to create? Oops. This is being weird. Sorry about that, guys. It's kind of windy outside. So I'll be pulling 3 cards from the Cosmic for each pile. and then one card from the notes from the universe for each pile. They'll be revealed when the pile is revealed. I don't know if I really have any major predictions. However, okay, that's pile 1. However, I will say this, the full moon is really good for creativity. So if you're going through a time where you're uncertain about something and you just want to do something to kind of take your mind off of it, I recommend doing a, that's pile 2. I recommend doing some kind of art, actually, like art, like drawing or painting, something like that. If you really want to get your mind off of something and you don't want to think at all, I recommend doing some crocheting or some knitting. That can be really helpful. And I mean something like a simple stitch, nothing that's too tough. And that's pile 3 there. Okay, so put these here. Remove that. Oopsies. And put this deck down here. I use that deck for clarifying. Okay. I don't read these cards in reverse. They come up in reverse because it's just easier for me to shuffle them this way. They aren't that type of card. I better be careful. I don't want to get the cards mixed up. So yeah, this full moon is all about creativity. It's all about all the past stuff coming up. And it's about doing shadow work, and I usually don't like that term, but I'm beginning to understand it better as I read more about it. Basically, my interpretation is that it's like all the past fears, like all the old stuff, all the things in your past that come up where you really feel like you messed up, or you feel like, you know, like somebody was really out to get you. You know, like people feel like they have a curse put on them or something. And I'll go more into that at the wrap up, because I think I had one put on me. I don't usually believe in curses, but this time I think it might have. Anyways, you take those shadows, you take all that fear, and you look at it and you confront it in some way. You can write it in your journal, you can think about it, meditate on it. You could be in bed talking about it to yourself or out loud while nobody else is there, you know, like on your own. Like, don't try to talk about it with other people there. And because I think shadow work is meant to be done on your own. Okay. I'll reveal them when okay. No, I'm not going to take those. They have to come out easier than that. Well, why don't we have a card for overall, because really it's only fair to have one per pile. So I will reveal the overall card for the whole reading today. Is what would love do? Do you know why it's so easy for us in the unseen to quickly pinpoint your whereabouts? You leave behind footprints of love. Aw, the universe. P.S. The legend of Bigfoot continues. Okay, so that's kind of like, you know, like with shadow work, I mean, you think about fears. You think about all the times you tried to like leave things behind, and things where you felt like you had finished something and it didn't come out the way you thought. And really, like, just keep in mind that if you've done everything with love in your heart, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Doesn't mean you didn't make a mistake. It doesn't mean that that there's just somebody who didn't like you for whatever reason, that people have to like you, because they don't. But it's more like, don't beat yourself up for somebody not liking you. Don't beat yourself up for a reaction you get from somebody when you feel like it's unjustified. And I think that is what shadow work is about. It's like you know, you talk about shadow boxing, you know, and people are like boxing and there's nobody there, and it's like all in their head, and so like they're like trying to get psyched up for the fight, so they're like thinking of their opponent. Well, it's like the same kind of thing. It's like you've got that in your head and you're shadow boxing, you know, trying to figure everything out. So, you know, shadow work is, it's all about doing what you can to move on from the pain of the past. Feel like you can conquer whatever you need to conquer, and not feel like you're having a problem. Okay, that looks pretty good. So pile 1 is over here. That's you might not know now, but you will. Pile number 2 is over here. Most people are just trying to survive. And number 3 is over here. This is give yourself much more credit. Okay, that's good. Alright. Yeah, this is going to be a good one, guys. I can feel it in my bones. So next time I'll be back with your pile, and as I said, I will be discussing astrological signs and maybe like anything that kind of seems to be cropping up, influences of just a general overall sign characteristic of some sort. Really do try to keep these general so everybody can get something from them. I don't want anybody to feel left out. And that's just my mission, is not to leave people out. I've been left out many times, and I'll go over that later on in the wrap up if you need to hear it. So without further ado, I'll be back with your reading. Hi pile 1, back, and so this is going to be your reading for manifesting during the full moon. I've already changed the crystal, so we're all ready to go. And what I'm going to do is flip these all up, and I'll show you what we've got here. So for planting seeds, we have 5 of Swords. For the goal, we have the Tower. And for the final result, the tasks, we have the Chariot reversed. And usually what I do is I go ahead and I write things down. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go off the cuff here. I do want to clarify the Tower. I'm just going to clarify as I feel it's needed. So I usually do it a little differently. We have Judgment reversed. Okay. I usually do it differently. I usually pull until I get a number card, but I have decided that this is a little different. Full moon is a bit heavier, and I think that when you have the major arcana cards, you just face them head on. Now, I do have these reversed and upright, but I'm going to turn them all upright. Because I think it'll just be easier to channel that way. Yeah, I usually write these things up, and I don't know, I just feel like tonight is a little different. If I really have to look it up, I can always stop the camera and come back. So, what we've got here... Oh, first, I forgot. Let me read this for the theme. You might not know now, but you will. Think of someone very, very special to you. Now feel yourself bursting with love for them. Now mentally shower, drench, and soak them in that love. Now mentally shower, drench, and soak yourself in my love. Now feel it always, the universe. Okay, now I'm going to get the crystals here, and feel like they're going over here to the Judgment card. Okay, so that's an important card for this one. Got here the Five of Swords, and swords are all about air, communication, somebody feeling tormented by something, perhaps a past thing. And I was talking about before about shadow work. So I'd say right now the seeds that you want to plant would have to do with trying to think of ways to do better when it comes to communication. What kind of seeds can be planted to communicate better with somebody? With air here, I'm thinking of people who have air signs, and they're the ones most affected by this kind of thing, because they kind of keep it all in their head, and it's like they keep it in there and all of a sudden they're gonna just explode. So I'll get into all the signs once I've read these, but for right now we've got it this way. Next one's for the goal, the Tower. The Tower is a big moment, so think back to those big moments that you had in your past. Think of the big moments you want to have now, and you know, what kind of goals do you have that you want to set up? Like, you know, you can't really plan ahead for a disaster. You can't plan ahead for like a real upset. You can't plan ahead for getting the big break. So all you can do is just be prepared. Like, just have a few things in place. What are the few things? What is the thing that you have that you can put in place? Judgment here. This ties in with the goal. I'm thinking with the Judgment. It's about making a call on something, making a decision, about announcing what you've got, announcing your goal to somebody. So I mean, let's say it's something like losing weight, right? You know, you want to do something where you're losing weight. Like, think about how you would feel if you were 5 pounds lighter, right? Full moon to me is like you set for next month. You don't set for any further than that. So you set yourself a goal that's a small goal, but doable and achievable. So like you announce it to everybody. I bring up the weight thing because I see this family here and everybody is, you know, it's human here. Humans' bodies So I'm thinking weight. Almost like a weight has been lifted. Whoever I'm thinking right now, they want to lose weight, and they want to lose weight because they want the weight to be lifted. That's what I'm getting. So then we have the Chariot, and that is for the tasks. Now, Chariot is all about moving fast. It's about, I would say, about charging after something, getting something done quickly. But also with the Tower card, it's also like the thing that can come in and upset everything. The actual thing that comes in and upsets stuff. The Tower is the event, and the Chariot would be the thing that would be like the catalyst that set it off. So let's put these here like this. We'll put these together here. And, you know, those are the things that's a big deal. That's the thing that will, the thing you may be thinking about, maybe the thing that's on your mind. So here, why don't we put this here? This is like the thing you're worried about. And this is like the thing at the top that you have to keep in mind, that you have to be able to follow through on your goals. So like I would say any tasks that you set up for yourself would be looking back at the times where you were emotionally triggered to eat a lot. Like, let's say, you know, you broke up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, a friend, and it just sets you off, and you're like, man, I just want like a big bucket of chicken right now. Or I want like ribs, or I want to have like a big huge chocolate bar, right? What was the thing that sets you off? And then when that kind of thing comes up again, then have something else to do instead of eating. And also, like, you can have that, but you could also have eating, but like have like a healthier comfort food. Like, I don't know, let's say you just have like a little bit of a very small amount of macaroni and cheese, or you have a cup of popcorn or something like that, something a little bit healthier than those things. I think that, you know, it's real easy to eat a lot and get into that if you're really feeling tormented by stuff. You just want to numb out. At the beginning of the video, I talked about how I tend to deal with things that get on my nerves and stuff. I do art, and I find art is very therapeutic. With these things here, I'm seeing you might want to do exercise. I mean, we've got the Tower, we've got the Judgment card, got the Chariot, fast moving. I think you may become one of those people. This is a fire sign reading here, but I will say things for everybody. But this is for anybody who's got a lot of fire in their charts. If you work out and you do exercise, you work out so that you can lose weight, but you also work out to kind of literally blow off steam, then you know, I think you've got it made. I think you'll be able to deal with a lot of the shadows that come up in your life. It's all about shadow work, and I have to read this. Oh yeah, I read this at the beginning, but you leave behind footprints of love. You know, always do things out of love. Like, don't like kill somebody with kindness. I mean, that's not really love. Love is is when you like keep somebody in mind. You keep somebody in mind and you make sure that you have their best interest at heart when you deal with them. And they may not care, you know, it's just that it doesn't matter. It's about how you'll feel at the end of the day. So like when you're in the gym and you're working out, just lift those weights, think of that person, you know, on the inhale, think of them on the outhale, you know, the out breath, and then, you know what, like eventually just let it go. Just stop thinking of them all together. Just stop. You know, the workout time is your time. Now, I'm a fire sign, so I should be listening to this reading because I absolutely do need to exercise. And I've been dieting, so I've been losing weight because of the food I eat, but sometimes I have issues where like it's hard to do the thing that I want to do to relax, like crocheting or doing the artwork. But I would say for you, not only work out and eat right, but also do some kind of art, or do some kind of writing. You know, with the swords here, we've got, you know, swords are all about communication, so writing is good. I would say some kind of writing, journaling. So now the rundown of all the signs. Okay, Aries, and let's see here, our fire signs. Yeah, this is crazy, I can't remember. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, there we go. Aries, it's going to be all about controlling your brain. It's going to be using your brain to figure everything out, to figure out the best way to work something out. And it could be physical. It could be a very physical motion. It could be something where, like, I don't know, like you could have, you're exercising and you think about something while you're exercising, and then you just kind of meditate on it and then let it go and just continue what you're doing. In terms of actual stuff to do, I'd say writing, like maybe writing about anything that's triggering you, because you're the one who's really going to get triggered. You always get triggered by stuff. So you know, write down those triggers and then like figure out what to come up with to let them go. You know, just let them go. Like, let the air out of the tires. We got the air here, the air card. So I mean, like, it's all about blow up, you know, like things blowing up. So I would say that would be your thing. Leo, you're going to be more in the heart. You're going to be more about, you know, you're near Cancer here, but you're going to be like rushing in to do stuff. Be careful. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo your heart. Don't run too hard. You know, like if you're going to run, make sure you run, make sure you do a jog instead of an actual run. Run might just be too much for you right now if you're starting to lose weight. I would dare say even just do treadmill work. You know, just like walking on a treadmill might be good for you, because then you can make you can do the inclines going up, and that would work. Yeah, like maybe what you could do is think of the people you love. Like, you know, when you want to give up on what you're doing, you want to give up on that, think of all the people you love and keep going. Okay, Sagittarius. I would say just be careful of eating for fun. You tend to be all about fun, so just be careful of that. Save all the fun for the exercise. Do something fun for exercise, some kind of aerobics. Even swimming would work. You know, that would be something good for you, I think, especially, you know, with your hips. You know, kicking in the water is really good for you. Okay, next one's up. We've got water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So for Cancer, okay, you also need to not run too much. You need to like really slow down. You probably need to just walk, period. I mean, do not run. Do not run at all. With the Tower here, do not run. Don't do that this month. Do something a lot more gentle for you. With the chest area affected, stomach affected, make sure you don't eat things that are too spicy. You know, like, don't like eat something spicy and go for a run or something like that. If you're gonna try running, make sure you're at the correct weight. Like, make sure you're only like maybe 10 pounds overweight before doing something like that. If you're more than that, do a jog or do some kind of walking. Okay, next one, Scorpio. Oh dear, Scorpio. Yeah, the Tower moment could be the thing that's really getting on your nerves. So I would say take all of that feeling like you're just gonna blow up and do some weights. Just do some weights. Just push it out there. When it comes to eating, I would say try to avoid foods that are gonna be like making you like have to poop a lot. I don't know why I'm saying that, but like avoid things that are just gonna make you like really sick like that. Anything that's gonna make you pee a lot too, that could be a problem. You know, anything that's really gonna affect you in your area of like making you uncomfortable. Make sure you wear comfortable pants when you're working out. Just try to be mindful of that. Try to make sure that it's something that when you eat things that they make you feel better, not worse. Pisces, I would say for you, make sure your feet feel good. Make sure you're wearing the correct shoes. For you, the Tower could be almost like, what are you going to carry? You could be thinking of, oh man, what is all this stuff I have to carry around now? And now see, that's where the Judgment card comes in for you. You could actually announce to everybody you're doing this and ask for their help, so that you're not like carrying everything on your own and feeling like this weight loss thing is the toughest thing ever and you can't get out of it. Also, I think that you need to be careful of maybe going too slow. Like maybe you need to do a run. Maybe that would be good for you, because I think your feet need to work out. Your feet need to be grounded, and then they need to come up off the ground. They need to be flying a little bit. You need to just do that. So that's for the water signs. Now, the air signs, we've got Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So Gemini, think about the talking, think of all the stuff that gets on your nerves, that, you know, you have conversations with people and it's like really frustrating because you just want to get it all out there. I would say find something that's quick to help you work out, like something like I don't know, like a sport like racquetball. Doesn't everybody even play racquetball anymore? Tennis, something a back and forth. Something with a back and forth, and that you're also social with somebody. So I think that would be good for you. That kind of thing. Libra, you also shouldn't be pooping your brains out either when it comes to food, eating food. Make sure that you eat something that's going to make your stomach feel better. Like, you just need to like make sure that when you have something that it's not going to upset you. You may have to limit your dairy. Dairy can cause that kind of stuff. Also for exercise, I know you like to be social, so you know, like maybe aerobics for you. You could also do bike riding, going to a spin class or something. That might work for you. Oh, who's the last one? Aquarius. Yes, Aquarius. Soak yourself in my love. Now feel it always, the universe. Yes. You need to think of the universe when you're working out. Get some space music and walk on the treadmill. And like when you think of all the people that push your buttons, just push the treadmill button and make the treadmill go up in an incline. And just walk it off. Okay, so now the last ones, we got the earth signs. We've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So now for Taurus, oh dear, you guys, I would say you need to do something that pushes you to the limit. Whereas some signs need to back off, you need to do something that tests you. I would say something good for you would be like rock climbing. Like going to one of those gyms where they have the rocks. Also kickboxing would be good for you. You know, you're all about boxing a lot of times. You're into that kind of stuff. Anytime you feel that jealousy about somebody, I mean, I would say like kind of just go to the gym and work it off. Virgos, oh boy, yeah, Virgos, maybe the thing for you is going for a run as well. You know, I think that could be good for you. A run can kind of clear your head. I'm really bad at running, but I know that when I walk I get the same effect. But I think for you, because you're an air sign, you're so fast, like you're so quick with your brain, running is the only way that your brain can catch up with it. You know, like if you walked, it would be too hard for you to let everything out of your system. And then the last one, Capricorns. For you, I think it's going to be mostly about announcing it to people. That's where I see you really taking off with this. If you announce it to everybody and say, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds by this day, and you have some kind of plan in mind to do, like maybe you'll treat yourself to something you've wanted for a long time. You saved up money and you're gonna treat yourself, not to food, don't do that, but you know, maybe you're into working out more like on your own, like you're into like going in the woods and walking. You're probably into doing things like, you could even be into bike riding or something like that, but like outdoors. And you know, so you could like buy a bike, or like if you like to go to like a skate park or something, you could buy yourself a new skateboard, or you know, buy yourself new roller skates or something like that. I would say something for you that would work really well would be like doing some kind of outdoor hiking, that kind of thing. A new pair of hiking boots would be perfect for you. Be sure all you guys come to the wrap up, because I have some interesting things to say. So if this reading resonated with you, then feel free to like the video. If it did not, hopefully you'll find a video by me or someone else, and it'll resonate with you next time. If you want to see more of my videos, then click the subscribe button, and you have to stay tuned for the blessings, so you have to come back for the blessings. So hopefully I will see you guys back at the wrap up. Bye. Hi Pile 2, I'm back. Back here with your cards, going to reveal them, and I'm going to do things a little differently this time. I'm going to be channeling them in real time. I'm not going to be going away and writing then coming back. In fact, what I'll do is I'll write it up afterwards, and you guys can see it on my blog. I'll talk more about that in the wrap up. So without further ado, let's get started. We've got the Ten of Wands reversed, the Sun reversed, the King of Wands reversed, and I think I'm going to just turn them all up. I figure if I really feel like they need to be upside down, I'll leave them upside down. That's what I did the last time too. Oh, sorry about that. Tricky today, huh? Okay, and let's reveal the theme, and I will clarify one of them, but I want to reveal the theme. We have most people are just trying to survive. Yep, you got that right. Just remember, most people are so beguiled by your charm, awed by your confidence, and inspired by your choices, they simply forget to say thank you, please, and I love you like crazy, as often as they feel the urge. Let's not be one of those people. Thank you, please, I love you like crazy, the universe. And remember, we've got what would love do, so we have to keep that in mind. Let's clarify, I'm going to clarify the King of Wands. See what's going on there. I got wands, so I'm thinking fire energy, some kind of fire energy here. The King of Cups, oh dear. Maybe somebody's got fire and water, like me. The Queen of Pentacles, what? Oh dear. That's what I get for doing that, huh? Okay. Four of Swords. Gee whiz. Sorry about that, guys. I'll leave them all out there because there may be something significant here. So now it's time to put the tripod in my hands, and basically what we have here is this is crazy. You little guys. Alright, just gonna put them how I see fit. That was weird. Okay, so basically we have the seeds that we're planting, the goal that we're setting, and the tasks that we need to perform to make the goal happen. And so since we've got a lot of court cards here, I'm thinking it's a lot about like self-love. So that's good. That's a good goal. You know, it's all about self-love and maybe even family, because we've got masculine, feminine. I don't get love so much with this. I'm just not feeling like any of this has to do with love. Like, it feels more spiritual than like passion, romantic kind of love to me. So yeah, especially with the Four of Swords, surrendering. So for the seeds that we're planting, the Ten of Wands. It's usually about carrying burdens. And I turned it up. If you reverse it, it's usually like releasing the burdens. But since I would say release the burdens anyway, I'll just keep it up. I would say when you're planting your seeds this month for the new month ahead, I would say keep in mind the things that weigh you down. The things you feel are obligations, like the things that are shoulds. Anything where you feel like, I should do this, I should do that. You get that down on paper, maybe. We've got, oh, also I want to say I changed the crystal too. I'm sorry. Anyways, so the reading is right now. Basically, like with the wands, you know, it's all about fire and passion. I would say, you know, write something, but like you could try typing. If you know how to type, you can type really fast. Get it into a computer. Get it onto a typewriter. I don't know, anything that's like fast. Also, I'm thinking something passionate, music, you know, like writing some lyrics, writing a poem, if you just want to handwrite. But I'm thinking anything that feels fast, that feels passionate. So like write those things down. Write anything where you feel like you have to do something, write it down, and then figure out why you need to do it, why you don't need to do it. That will help you to plant the seeds for the things that are for the best life ahead for you. Now, for the goal is to be happy, pure and simple. That's the goal. Now, that can be something where it's either really wonderful or it's really something that nags you because you're like, oh, when am I ever going to be happy? When am I ever going to do enough to be happy? And if you've got burdens, if you're carrying around burdens, then you're not going to be happy. If you have that constant should weighing you down, that whole feeling of should, you know, that if you're feeling that, then, you know, it's really difficult to get to happy. I mean, you probably could. I don't want to make anybody feel like they have to absolutely get rid of should, because it's very hard to do that. Especially if you've got like family obligations, you feel like you need to help people. Even though you may be thinking, oh, I need to take time for myself. I would hate to say this, but you actually can take time for yourself and help other people. Just a case in point, my mom wanted to take my grandma out. We've been helping my grandma move into her new place, and we've been wanting to take her out to places, but also like part of our family does a lot of the work in helping her, like helping her get to her doctor's appointment and stuff. So, you know, my mom wanted to take charge too, because she feels like her brother's doing all the work. So she wanted to do it, and she's been wanting to do it, but she's had some health issues recently, and like they kind of started cropping up again. Luckily nothing bad happened, but she really, I didn't know how much she needed my help until I actually was there with her when we were helping my grandma. There's a lot involved, where we have to take a wheelchair out, we have to put grandma in the wheelchair, then we have to wheel her into the doctor's office, and then, you know, she's in the doctor's office and she can stand up, but she can't really walk. She'd have to have a walker. So it's easier for her and for us to have her in the wheelchair, but it's a lot of work to put the wheelchair away, take it out. There's no way my mom would have been able to do all that, and I really wanted to take time for myself that day. I just wanted to relax from something. I had been doing a lot of work, and I just wanted a day where I had alone time. You know, I had been spending a lot of time with people, and I just needed alone time. But there's absolutely no way she could have done that. So I'm feeling like I needed to say that's the message here. This is what this is about, this particular pile. Pile 2 is all about family and taking time for yourself if you're a caregiver. For the tasks, well, I would say since we got all the people here, well, I'm going to say delegate. Delegate to them. Let's see, who should we delegate to? Okay, this guy here. The King of Wands. Somebody whose actions actions back up to words. Somebody who you know is going to be there to get your mom at the dentist. They're going to get your grandma at the dentist, right? They're not going to just flake out. Also, you know, anybody who's really loving and caring, that's something to keep in mind. And then we have people who are very grounded and very, yeah, here, somebody who's grounded and you know, these are together, so I would say like grounded, nurturing person. Somebody with maybe some earth and some water, you know, maybe like, you know, they got Cancer, but they also have a little bit of, I don't know, like Capricorn or something. They have a little extra earth in them. It could be anything, but that's what came up in my head. I don't know why. So, we've also got the Four of Swords here, and that's all about taking a break. So, I'm going to put that here. And we will reverse this now, because I want to say this here. You've got to surrender to all the negative stuff. You've got to surrender to the fact that there is negative stuff, that there's burdens. And not just burdens, there may be things that I wouldn't call burdens, but they're like necessary survival tasks, like having to take care of somebody. I wouldn't call that a burden. To me, if somebody's really ungrateful and you have to take care of them, then that's a burden. But I think if it's somebody that you really love and they love you and they're kind and everything, it could be very time consuming, and it may even drain you somewhat if you don't take time for yourself. We've got the swords here, so I would say that's about communication. Ooh, I got the chills. This message is a big deal for somebody, I don't know who, but so I'm actually like getting teary-eyed. You know, you need to like realize that you need to prioritize between the things that are absolutely necessary and the things that can be put off till tomorrow. It's okay to procrastinate, especially when it's something that isn't important. You know, there may be something that you feel is important to you and somebody else doesn't think is important. Like, let's say you've got to help your mom out. You got to go take her somewhere, but you also have to get your hair done because it'll make you feel better. Well, I would say make sure you make time to get your hair done. Don't, you know, schedule that first. And then when it comes time, you know, your family member can let you know when they have time. And I mean, you can always like change the time of what you have to do, but at least get the task down, get that down and get it into the queue, so to speak. You know, like make sure that you have that going on. So now I'm going to do a rundown of all the signs. So for the fire signs, let's say Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Yeah, communication with the swords here. With your burdens, I think the key for you, you know, because Aries tend to like have a lot going on in their head. They're very similar to air signs, except the way they act on things. They may have a lot in their head, but then they act on it. Whereas like an air sign may just think about it. They may not act so much yet, but they do at some point. But like the Aries will do it immediately. I would say try to keep yourself from doing that. And also, if you have like a short temper, like if you have a ton of fire in your chart and you just have like a short temper, take some deep breaths before talking to your loved one. Don't take anything out on them. Don't, like if this is a real burden, like you feel like it's a burden, it's a real drain, and there's some kind of concerns you have to bring up, then I would say do that. But do it in a polite way. Don't make the situation worse by trying to force some kind of rules or something. I mean, you can set boundaries, but there's a difference. I'd say for the Leos, you guys probably need to you need to put your heart in it more. You need to really put your heart in it. You gotta try to make the caregiving a happy experience somehow. You gotta make yourself feel like it's not a burden to take care of somebody. And I don't know how you can do that. I mean, I think you can, if you eliminate the shoulds and you think of the priorities and you think of the good qualities about the person that you care about, you can enjoy your time together. Sagittarius, I would say help the person you're caring for see the good in everything. Help them see the good side of everything. If they're feeling down and they feel like it's really tough for them, you know, you might be able to come in and just cheer them up, you know, brighten their day. If you feel like it's too draining, if you feel like it's really difficult to keep a positive outlook, take a breather. Like if you're with the person, like just say, just hold on a minute and you just breathe a little bit, you know. Take a couple, just count to 3 or 4 or something, and just then, you know, come in and you can be positive. So that's what I got for the fire signs. Now for the water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, you need to delegate. Always delegate to somebody. Don't try to handle all of it on your own. You're the type of person who wants to take all of it on your own, and you don't want to have to delegate, but you really need to. Otherwise you'll get burnt out. Okay, Scorpio, I would say, you know, you're kind of like Aries. You have a hot temper, but yours is more like a slow burn, I think, than like a hot temper. It's like a slow burn and then bam. You need to not let the energy build up. Like if you're with somebody and they're getting on your last nerves, and you are feeling like, okay, I can hold it in, and then you just let it out, that's really gonna make the situation worse. So I'd say before it gets to that point, you need to step aside and just take a couple deep breaths, okay? And then speak calm, be calm. Like just speak what you need to, but in a calm manner. You'll get the results you want if you do it that way. Pisces, I'd say you need to delegate too, because you're the type, you would take on everything as well, like Cancer. Also, I would say do some things where you can sit and do some kind of art or something, you know, like maybe you can help them do some kind of art therapy or something to make them feel better. That might be a nice way to take care of somebody. And if it's something you enjoy doing, then, you know, you kind of meet your self-care needs too. And also think about your shoulds too. You know, what are the things that you feel like you have to do versus things that you need to do. Just go through that list and make sure you get everything out of there. That's not a priority. So now on to the air signs. We got Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, got the swords here. You need to just surrender to the situation. Just get in there and help out, because that's like what you're good at doing. I think when you harness your energy, when you harness that kind of gift of gab, you can really get in there and just like make somebody feel better. I would say, you know, maybe even read to somebody, you know, like bring a book along, and if somebody, you know, has a hard time reading, read to them. Or you could even listen to a book together, you know, if you don't want to have to do all that. But you'll probably enjoy reading. You like to talk, so it might be fun for you. I would say Libra, you're social, and you could probably do well with having a social network, you know, like just a group of people that can help you out. And not only that, but you can help them out somehow. I mean, you could even have something where you and your friends take care of each other's people. You may even have like a party or something and you're all together. You know, something where it's like a family event, something where it's friends and their family. That's something that you like. You like social outings and stuff, and it might make it more fun for you to do it that way. Maybe even like going to a senior center or something. Like if you have to visit somebody at the senior center, you know, maybe talking to some of the other people, if they allow that, I don't know. But like if you're with friends and they have people also in there, you can all just kind of sit together and talk. And go through your should list too. You probably don't have as much of a problem with that, because you kind of just say, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And if you don't like it, oh well. But you still probably have some shoulds there. You got other stuff in your chart. It's not just Libra. Now, Aquarius, I think this is where you shine. This is like what you live for. So I would say, if this is the kind of thing that you really want to do and you really love it, you really love taking care of your family, I would say teach other people in your family how to do it. Teach other people how to do it so you don't have to always do it. You love it, but you can burn yourself out. There's something called compassion fatigue, and that really scares me. That means that people actually give out. They give until they're gived out, and they no longer care about the people they're caring for. That can happen to you. That can happen to anybody, but it can happen to you especially because you're so giving. So definitely make sure you delegate. Now for the earth signs, we have Taurus. I would say for you, I would say maybe sitting in the park, like sitting in your park with the person you're taking care of. Just sit and enjoy each other's company. I don't know. I'm not worried about you. I think you tend to take things in stride. I would say the only thing to steer clear of is like if you have stuff in your life that's really tough, don't take it out on the person you're taking care of. Like just, you know, write it in a journal or something. Get it out of your system that way. Don't take it out on the person you're with. But for the most part, I think you'll be fine. Virgo. Okay, you probably don't have shoulds. You have a need list. You know what you need and you know what other people need. What you're probably not taking up and you're not keeping in mind is you have to take time for yourself so that you can give. Like, you know you need to take care of yourself because you need to take care of yourself. But you also to do the things you need to do for other people, you need to be able to take care of yourself so that you can give to them. Make sure you do that. Also, last one, Capricorn. I think something good for you would be like, you guys could be in the park too. You could like walk in the park or something with somebody. You could sit in the courtyard with somebody, you know, like you can help them out that way. Tell them stories. You know, you can just do all sorts of stuff. Just like, I think you can inspire somebody to be happy, you know, to be happy with what they have. Like, let's say somebody feels depressed about what's going on. You can see all the practical stuff and like let them know, hey, you have air to breathe, you have water to drink, you know, something like that. That's the kind of thing that you are able to bring home to people. So I hope that was helpful to you. Oh, and make sure you tell them that you love them like crazy. Make sure you do that, okay? Now, if you like this video, press like. If it didn't resonate, then I hope you find another video that does. Also, if you like these videos, be sure to subscribe to this channel. And be sure to stick around till the end. At the end, you don't have to see the next pile, but go to the end, and then you'll see the blessings. So, for now, bye. Hi, pile 3. I'm here with your message. So now I'm going to reveal the cards, and I'm going to do it different than usual. I'm actually going to channel in real time, so I won't be writing anything. In fact, I do all the writing in my notebook afterwards now, and I put it up on my blog, so I'm hoping to get it up sometime tomorrow. There's still a full moon tomorrow, so there's always tomorrow. Well, lots of times. Okay, so anyways, I'll get started. The theme for this one is give yourself much more credit. So let me read that. A stranger than strange preponderance to ponder. Those in great relationships aren't always those who are good at relationships, and those in challenging relationships aren't always those who are bad at relationships. Oh, see, wow, even though I use preponderance ineptly, this one is really good. Please ponder the universe. Sounds like this may have something to do with love. So we'll see what the cards reveal. So for the seeds that you're going to plant, got Ace of Swords. Aha. For the goal, we have 3 of Cups reversed. And for the tasks, we have the World. Oh, that's interesting. You know, I need to clarify something here. I'm going to clarify the World. So, because I need to see... oh, this is funny. Doesn't want to talk, does it? Eight of Swords, okay. Alright. Well. Now, in the other ones, I have been taking the cards and putting them upright. It makes it easier to channel. So I will be doing that with this, but then I probably will reverse it again because I think it has to do, having it reversed has to do with this. So, I'm not going to clarify anymore. I'm just going to stick with what we got here. So I'm going to turn this up. And, put that there. Time to take the tripod down. Okay, so the seeds to plant, the goals to make, or the goal to make, and the tasks at hand. Yeah, this is interesting here. What I'm getting is, since this had to do with love and relationships, I'm gonna say this has to do with love and relationships. We have the Three of Cups here. These people are like reuniting. But to me, they almost seem like people who've crossed paths. We have the World card. So that's like, it's like well-traveled. Been everywhere to the end of the earth to find you, kind of thing. Now the Eight of Swords here. This is like somebody is walking away, and but you know, it's like it could be either one of these people, although the woman is the one that's staring out, so I would say it's about her, and she's thinking of the man that has caused her pain, and he's going away, and she's trying to figure out how to get out of the situation, I think. Ace of Swords. Yeah, this is all about triumphing, trying to conquer something. So I'd say when it comes to love, seeds to plant, try to do everything in compassion, no matter how somebody screwed around with you, you know. In any way, you know, it could be anything. They could, you know, anything. No matter how they hurt you, just do everything in compassion. Let's get the crystals over here and see if we can get some clarity. Oh boy. Oh, they're all going there. Okay. So the Three of Cups. Now, that's the goal. The goal is to reunite, or at least feel like when you are with people, you've reunited. So like they could be new people and you've reunited with them. Like it'll feel like that. You know, I really don't want to say this is twin flamey. I'm gonna say soulmate, okay? Because not everybody who watches this is into that stuff, and I'm just kind of tired of it. So I'm going to say soulmate. So like the goal is, you know, when you find people, you want them to be somebody that you feel at home with. And it could be anything. It could be friendship. It could be love. Although with the Love card up here, you know, this good at relationships, bad at relationships, stranger than strange. Yeah, the World card is kind of strange. Makes everything strange. All about experiences, all about seasoning yourself, like making yourself better, making yourself know more about the world, making yourself know more about people. Just becoming somebody who is somebody people want to get to know. So with this card here, why don't we say this? We'll put these together here. They're both swords, okay? Okay. So what we've got here is we've got this woman here. She's trying to figure out how to move on, perhaps how to have better relationships, how to have better friendships. It doesn't just have to be relationships, like romantic. In fact, the Three of Cups usually is more about friendship. However, it can be about love. I mean, if you're with somebody and you're their friend and lover, then I think that is something to keep in mind. You know, it's like if you want to find somebody who's a friend and a lover. Not everybody wants to do that. Some people don't. Some people just want a lover. You know, they just want somebody that they're romantic with, and they kind of like have friends outside. But then some people want a true soulmate relationship where you're friends and lovers. Now, I said I was gonna turn this down here. So I have it down, and I'm thinking, you know, part of maybe the goal is to not push so hard. Not push so hard and have all these expectations on what you think other people want from you. A lot of people say things like be yourself, and yeah, I mean, yeah, you need to be yourself to find the true soul tribe. However, I think it's not just that. I think it's about trying not to control how other people act. You can only control yourself. You only have control over you. And uh-oh, my battery is dying. Oh jeez. Well, I'll see how long I can go. It may shut off. So you only have control over yourself. And you need to make sure that you make yourself the best you can. Put your best self forward. Put your best foot forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to charge up my battery, and then I'll come back for all the signs rundown. Sorry about this, guys. So here we go. We have all of that there. Hi guys, I'm back. Oh boy. I ended up watching some shows about painting, and I watched some tarot card readings from some of my favorite tarot readers. Maybe I'll shout out to them in the end. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of saying to myself, you know, I don't want them to feel pressure to shout me out. I have no idea whether they even watched me or what they're into, but anyways, back to the reading. I think I said most of what I want to say about the general nature of this. So now I'm going to get into the signs. For all the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, in order to put your best foot forward, Aries, when you think of the things that you need to do to improve yourself, improve the way you speak to people, you need to think of how you can slow yourself down. You need to think about how you can listen to somebody else. And if it really helps, you could say, well, you know, when I listen to somebody, I improve. Like, I get better, or I get good ideas. I think if you think of it that way, then you'll do better with that. You know, for soulmates, I don't know, you need to be with somebody who will listen to you talk. You need somebody who will listen to you talk, and you know, somebody that you don't mind listening to talking. So that's what I got for Aries. For Leo, I think for you to improve yourself, maybe, I don't know, think of how you can infuse everything with heart. Like, if you're having a hard time opening up your heart because you've been stomped on a lot, you need to figure out how you can open up your heart in a way that's gonna have more boundaries. Like, you need to set boundaries. I think you're not bad listening to people. I mean, you tend to talk over the people who get on your nerves. Like, if it's somebody you really like, you listen to them. But I think with you, whereas Aries is like just impulsive and just getting it all out there, I think you are more think, and then get it out there. You're a little less impulsive than an Aries, I think. Like, where you would be impulsive is kind of love. Like, that's where you would be impulsive. That's where you would put your heart out there, but you're like kind of reserved probably now with this card showing up. As for soulmates, you need to find somebody who will put as much heart into things as you do. Don't accept anything less, because you don't put out any less, so that's what you deserve. Now for Sagittarius, I think you need to make sure that when you do give to people that they've earned it. You tend to be generous, and you could be generous with your time. When somebody loves you, you love them back tenfold. You could almost be smothering, but smothering in a way that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you your space, I'm gonna give you your space, and then it's like you just want them, and it's like the other person knows you want them, because you'll just do little things to like get them, and it'll all add up. And I think what you need to improve on is making sure that, you know, that when you give it to somebody who wants you to give it to them. Like, don't spend time giving to somebody who doesn't want you or what you have to offer. It hurts to say that, but it's the truth, and I know from experience. It's painful, but, you know, it's a part of life. People are drawn to the people they're drawn to, and sometimes, as one of my favorite tarot readers says, and I'll mention her in the end because I know she won't mind, she says rejection is God's protection. And I really like that, so I like what she said there. This is like for your soulmate, I would say find somebody who's as fun-loving as you are. Find somebody who likes to enjoy life, but also like likes to give of their time. Somebody who's not stingy with their time. You know, there's some people that are real stingy with their time. You don't need that. Okay, so now for the water signs. We've got Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Cancer, you need to improve on your moodiness. Like, if you know your moods are coming, you know what's gonna push your buttons, then have something in mind to keep you from going over the edge. You know, like, let's say somebody just says something to you, and they always say it to you, and it's always annoying. You just want them to stop saying it to you. Well, you may not be able to come up with a comeback. Or maybe you can. Maybe there's something in your chart that's like Gemini or something. You'll be able to come up with something. But I would say don't plan on coming up with a comeback. Plan on more like just saying, okay, that's your opinion, or it's just something that would throw them off. That's not a comeback, because if you do a comeback, it's just gonna make them do it even more. There's people like that. They're like moles, you know, like the whack-a-mole game. You keep hitting the mole and he keeps coming up. Well, that's what happens with you. You tend to attract that kind of stuff. For your soulmate, you need somebody who's really tender, like somebody who will take your feelings into account. You don't want a person who is just one of those people who's just kind of like, oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Somebody who's really not able to give you the love that you need. It's just the only way to put it. It's like you love with everything. You love with your heart and soul and body, mind, and you love in a way that's like the water. It's very deep. So you need somebody who appreciates that. You just need somebody who appreciates it, really, because you love to love. So you need somebody who lets you love them. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio, I must admit, you're like the sign I don't really know much about. I do have a family member who's a Scorpio. I know a few people who are, but, you know, they're a little mysterious to me. But I'll give it my best shot here. I'd say what you need to improve on is the blow-up period. The period where you are, like, talking to somebody and something they said got on your nerves, and you're sitting there and stewing in your own juices, and then you just, you know, get mad. You need to stop getting into that depth of stewing in your own juices and getting mad, because that's going to cut you off from lots of people. Not too many people can handle that. I would say most people can't. And I don't want to encourage that kind of behavior, so I'm not going to say you need that kind of person that'll put up with that. But yeah, I'd say find some way to say something when the thing happens, instead of waiting and waiting and waiting and having it blow up. You know, that could be a problem for you. So in terms of soulmates, I'd say find somebody who can give you something to think about, like something that you wouldn't expect, that would make you actually feel better. Like something that would make you feel deep, something that would make you feel deep and make you feel loved. And, you know, maybe even something like music. I don't know why I'm getting that, but like somebody who does something creative that would get you deep into something without it making you angry. It would make you more loving. It's like somebody who can draw that out of you would be the best thing. And Pisces, I'd say for you to improve, maybe kind of hold back the emotions a little, try to figure that out. I think you tend to get emotional right away, whereas some of the other signs kind of like hang back. You are more like you just let it all out immediately, especially if you trust somebody. And I think with you, like maybe a way to improve for you is boundary setting. Like making sure that people know, like when they cross your boundary, that you tell them right away that it happened. so that they don't get the idea that they can just do it again. Because I know you'll probably allow it to keep happening until you believe in yourself that you don't deserve to be treated like that. And in terms of soulmate, I would say find somebody who can just fulfill you in a way that would make you not so emotional. Something that would make you feel more carefree, you know, because you don't need to be absorbed in that water, that depth. You're gonna be in the depth for so long, and like you need somebody to kind of help pull you out a little bit, you know, like an amphibian. You know, you need somebody who's like gonna help you embrace your inner amphibian, you know, go, you're in the water and then you go out on the land, and you do everything you need to do. You need somebody who's gonna do that, who's gonna get you out of your comfort zone. So that's what I have for you. Now, for the air signs, we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, to improve, maybe not interrupt people. Like, I think you're like, kind of like, you're very fast. So you need to not interrupt people. Not everything is funny. Like, you need to, like, sometimes you need to not make a joke of something. I think that could be a problem. So if you can figure out what's a joke and what's not a joke, when the right time to joke is, people are really going to be attracted to you because you can make them laugh. Now, as for soulmate, you need somebody who wants you to make them laugh. You need somebody who is intelligent like you are and are able to have a good conversation with you, but it's got to be fast, like a fast conversation. Like, somebody who can't keep up with you would not be good for you. So, like, make sure you find somebody who is like you. Like, they've got to be like you. I don't think an opposite is really good for you, honestly. I feel like you already have opposites in you. You just need to find one or the other to be with, you know. Okay, so that's what I got for you. Libra. You need to improve. You need to improve you need to figure out how to be alone. Because sometimes I think you're like with so many people. So, like, you know, sometimes you need to charge up. And if you don't charge your batteries, you're going to be having a problem. So, I think you need to let people go once in a while, you know. Or, like, even hang back a little bit, you know. Just, like, hang back just a little bit. Let somebody just take the center stage for a while. That could be what you would have a problem with. And then a soulmate, somebody who adores you. You know, you deal really well with people who adore you. And but make sure they're not somebody who's just a doormat. I mean, that's not fun, and you know that's not right. You know that's not right. So, you know, somebody who adores you and yet can equal you in star power. Yeah, I really believe that. They have to be equal to you. They can't be somebody who's just doesn't have it together. Okay, so Aquarius, you need to improve your compassion fatigue. You've got to improve that. You've got to improve giving and giving and giving, and then like getting upset that you gave too much. If you are going to give to somebody, you have to give to them. You can't just give and like expect all this stuff to happen. Like, if you're going to give, you give freely, and then everything will work the way it's going to work. And I don't mean it's all going to be good, but you know, it's better to think positive giving. So I would say that's what you have to improve on. And in terms of a soulmate, somebody who wants to be given to you, somebody who wants to be taken care of, but also somebody who you can actually do like good work with, you know, like charity work or something. Something where you two could get together and do good things for people, because you genuinely like to help people. And I think what you need to do is surround yourself with people who like to help people. And like, if you work in causes together, you're less likely to like just give to one person and give and give and give. So I think you're better off if you give to causes, if you're with a soulmate. And if you're with a friend, you know, it can be the same kind of thing, you know. You know, don't be friends with somebody who needs a ton of help. That's not for you. You need more like to work with groups of people, like the homeless, or like people who do environmental stuff, you know, like clean up the lake and all that kind of stuff, clean up the ocean. That's a good way for you to socialize, I think. And last, we have the earth signs. We have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus, to improve, I think you tend to get jealous of people. So like, maybe find out why you're jealous. And you get jealous of other people like your friend too. Like, figure out what you can do to keep your friend, you know. Think about what that other person has that maybe you think you don't have, but you probably have it. I mean, if you're friends with somebody and they're friends with another person, doesn't mean they can't be friends with you. So I think the jealousy thing, that's what you have to work on. And in terms of a soulmate, I think you need somebody who appreciates your protective nature. Like, they appreciate that you protect them, that you care for them. You're practical, so like they appreciate your practicality. You know, somebody who needs to be at home, like somebody who needs to stay at home. Like, you may want somebody who wants to be a stay-at-home mom, or they want to work at home and you can provide for them. That may be just the thing you need. That might help you. And it can be masculine or feminine. I mean, men like to stay home too, you know. I know some people are like, oh, that's sexist or something, but it's not, you know, it could be anybody. Virgo, you I think you need to improve your self-awareness. Like, you're very aware of everything you need and everything you want, but that gets in the way of communicating with people. Because it's like you're in your own head. And I don't think you mean to be selfish. A lot of people think Virgos are selfish. It's not that. I think you're just in your own head. You're like, there's so many things that gotta get done, you know. It's that kind of thing. And it could be anything. And if it happens to be a lot of self-care things, and people start saying you're selfish. What you need to improve on is like taking other people's schedules into account. You know, I mean, feelings are one thing, but I'm talking about what people actually do with their time. So, I mean, you may be somebody who's so busy, and then, like, you want to just hang out the last minute with somebody because, you know, you feel like you've earned it. But, like, you know, you really need to make sure that people are available. Maybe you need to plan out, you know, hang out with somebody who is more free will, you know, more easygoing. So I think as a soulmate, you need somebody easygoing, I think. You need somebody that you, if you feel you've worked so hard, you need somebody to kind of have fun with, like a party pal, you know? So I think that would be good, like a Sagittarius would be good for you. That would work out really well. And then last, we have Capricorn. In Capricorn, you need to improve being so stubborn, like wanting to do things your way all the time. I know quite a few Capricorns, and a lot, they all have one thing in common, and that's they know exactly what they want, and they're not budging until they get what they want. And you need to not do that. You need to take in other people's opinions. Like when somebody says, oh, I don't feel like doing that, you need to listen. And maybe there's a reason why they don't want to do it. You know, maybe there's something that is not good for them. But I think that if you can keep that in check, I think you'll be fine, because you have so many great qualities. All the signs have great qualities. However, Capricorns are special to me because my dad's a Capricorn, and I have friends, I have lots of friends actually who are Capricorns. I don't just have like one or two, I have like 3, 4, you know. So Capricorn people are special to me, and you know, it is something that you have to deal with. Now for soulmate, maybe somebody who is willing to go with the flow, but also kind of like help get you out of a rut, because you don't need to be in a rut. I think Capricorns have enough of an adventurous spirit. You know, they're right after the Sagittarius, and I think they have enough of an adventurous spirit that they could have somebody, they could be with somebody who gets them out of their comfort zone. Because a lot of times Capricorns want to push people out of their comfort zone. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So that's what I've got for you guys. Oh, see, wow. See? This one is really good. What would love do? Let's take a look at the back of that again one more time. You leave behind footprints of love. That is what the world is all about. About all the footprints that have been left behind from all the people loving. That's what it is. It's the universe. It is. It's about letting go of control. That's the big message from this for all the signs in this. Let go of that control. Everybody has their control issues. It doesn't matter whether you're a laid back sign or not. So, if you like this video, please like. If you want to see more of these videos, then subscribe. Be sure to stick around in the blessings, because, well, I want to share who the tarot reader was that said that. And then also just I'm gonna wrap everything up. Have some things about shadow work, which I think for this group is really good. You do need to do shadow work, so I talked about that in the intro just in case you skipped it. I feel like there's one other thing I wanted to say. like, subscribe. Oh well, that's all I can think of. So, it's been a long night, been a long day recording, but I will have a wrap up for this, so, bye. Hi, everybody. I don't have my glasses on, so I was like looking to see when the time was starting. So, you're probably like, what is she doing? uh, just like, that's weird. She looks weird. Yeah, I had a long night because I was doing fine. I was working on the reading, and then my battery died like in the middle of the last one. But luckily, it was kind of like a clean break because I was able to come back and do all the signs after that. So maybe it worked out for the best, but it was kind of nerve-wracking. I was afraid that maybe my battery was really dead, that it was really gonna die, and I wouldn't be able to finish it. And this particular group of readings is probably my favorite that I've done of everything I've done. So because of that, and because there is a tarot reader on here that I love dearly. Her name is JJ Constellation. She's on YouTube, and I've had one personal reading with her, and she's just a great reader. So check out her channel and check out her readings. Um, obviously, like, get a feel for the like, if you're gonna buy a tarot reading from somebody, watch their readings and see if you resonate. And if they resonate, you might as well take a chance. Now, some people I have to save up for because their readings are very, they cost more than like what I usually have in budget. So, I have to save up for those. But, you know, um, I basically save up for all of them. I mean, even like when I'm not paying as much as somebody else is, I still have to save the money up for it. So, but some of them I can have sooner than others because I have the money for it. So, sometimes, the time is not the right time. So I just think of it that way, that I'll have the money for some of the tarot readers that have the prices that I'm not able to really um, qualify spending right now for. I'll save up for those. So, um, if you watch this, you probably know who you are. So, um, anyways, I got a reading with JJ because she's like, she's really good at guidance. She's really good at spiritual guidance, and I really like that. I like that style of reading, and I try to impart some of that in what I do, because my goal is to have people make up their own mind about stuff. So, like, everything I put out there is not meant to force you to do something or make you think a certain way. It's there for you to take and leave what you want behind. Take what you want and leave the rest behind. And if you love all of it, great. If there's parts you don't like, fine. If it doesn't resonate at all, then it doesn't resonate at all, and it wasn't the message for you. Simple. So, I feel like, I would say, JJ, you do not have to shout me out. I'm still new at this, so, like, it'd be cool to have people check out the channel. I'm just saying, like, don't feel pressure, okay? Um, but, anyways, I want to talk about the readings now. Um, Pile 1 was all about weight loss and exercising. Pile 2 is about caregiving. Anybody who's a caregiver, could be even parents, but it was really more. I was thinking more of like elderly people who are taking care of elderly people, or sick people. Somebody who may be young but they're very sick or something. Um, And then the third one was all about soulmates, finding your soulmate and being a better friend. This was a very special group of readings, and like you could watch all of them. I mean, really, you could watch all of them and get something from all of them. Now, um, I forgot to talk about the timestamps. I usually put the timestamp after the introduction because I know some people don't like that, and you know it's okay. I mean, you want to watch it, fine. If you don't, you don't. It's no biggie. But there are timestamps for everything, and so it's a bit late now for me to say that, but uh, I'll put a note in the beginning somewhere. I'll just put like a text or something. Also, at the beginning, I talked about shadow work, and I'm a new witch, as some people would call a baby witch, and I have embraced Wicca more than I've embraced any other spiritual path. Just bit by bit, though, not all at once, but just kind of taking a little bit here and a little bit there, and applying it to my life and figuring out how I can use it to help people. Because you know, something with Christianity, you know, like I really tried to be a Christian, and I thought that's what I was. However, I felt like Jesus isn't the only way to me. I think he is a way, and I think he's a good way. However, these days the religion is just not represented by who I would consider. There are plenty of Christians, like real Christians, but there are some people that are really not, in my opinion. I can't align myself with that anymore. And since I was beginning to break away from it anyways, just in general, just over time, I never felt like I quite fit in. So I felt like Wicca was really the place for me because it's a new religion, relatively new. It's from like it was developed, I think, in the 50s or something, and it's sort of like a new paganism. So a lot of the things that they took were things that could be applied to modern times. They kind of left behind all the stuff that's would not be okay today, and kind of kept the things that are the really special things about witchcraft. In fact, I think I read there's some Wiccans who don't even practice witchcraft. So witchcraft is like a separate thing. But to me, for me, my witchcraft is related to Wicca, and I consider Jesus like another deity. Like, you know how people they say they channel Kali, or they channel a deity. Well, I see Jesus as like one of the deities that I channel. And then I see like the angels like Raphael or Uriel or somebody like that. You know, an angel like that. This is so weird. I have my glasses on. But I just, my eyes are so tired. Um, so, I consider him a deity. I consider him another deity. He's a master teacher. Um, and I feel like since so many people say they have access to God, then I have access to him. I feel like a lot of times I get messages from family that have passed over that were very religious. I'm still having a hard time believing like I have access to him directly, but you never know. Lots of people say they have access to God, you know, that they pray and God talks to them. So I think it's the same kind of thing. I mean, I think everybody has access to deities. Any deity. It could be any deity. Um, with Wicca, you can have any deity you want. You can communicate with anyone you want. You don't have to only like have one deity. You don't have to only have one way of thinking. You choose the path that you are are aligned with. And like a lot of the universe is all about unfold, being a part of the universe is allowing things to unfold. So with Wicca, I think what people think, I mean, this is my impression. What people think is that with Wicca, the people are trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future so they can control everything and make sure everything works out. So that like goes against the universe unfolding. Like with the Buddhist teachings, you have like the universe unfolding for you. I don't. I just don't see that. I don't see divination as that. Um, I think somebody who is not very spiritual sees divination as a tool to constantly see what the future holds because they're not willing to take that step to take that step forward, go into the unknown, and let things happen. If you're constantly in your little box and trying to figure out the future, it doesn't work. And I know because I did that for a long time when I was younger. And wasn't just the tarot card readings. It wasn't actually that was only a little bit. I actually had a lot more stuff. It's hard to talk about. Just a lot of things during my psychotic break where I constantly was thinking about the future and like, oh, I can see the future and stuff when I really couldn't at that time. Now, it's not so much that I can see the future. It's more like I have insight into things. I have insight into how people are. A lot of it is based on real life, like that I have a life that I live. So I have insight. Surprise, surprise, right? But what's surprising is that the way that I relay the information is it has a spiritual feeling to it when I do these videos. And, that has surprised me more than anything else, the psychic abilities that I have. I can tap into the things that people are into at the moment. And it used to be more like I tapped into things ahead of time. Like I have a story about the messy button hat. I channeled the messy button hat like 3 years before it came out. I actually have notes. I should find them, but you'd probably still not believe me that I really designed it like 3 years ago. But it was actually more like a ponytail hat. It was like this netted hat, and you can put your ponytail through it. But the idea is the same. And when I saw that thing, I went, man, like, geez, man, I could have had something going there. But it's like, I think, even though I have that trendy kind of thing going on, I feel like, the problem is that it's like, I, I don't think I'm meant to be a trendsetter. I think I'm more meant to give timeless wisdom and classic things that classic teachings that can be passed down from generation to generation. I have family right now who are young, and like one day they'll get taller, they'll be dating, they'll be doing all sorts of stuff, and I hope that I can pass something on to them, some kind of wisdom. Um, so, um, these moon readings are kind of like where my heart is at right now. I don't know about this twin flame thing. I'm kind of at the point where I'm really fed up with it, to be honest. Um, I believe it's real, and I think I met my twin flame. I did. I know for a fact. However, it doesn't mean that we're supposed to be in love or that we're supposed to be in a relationship. I think sometimes you meet twin flames for a healing thing to happen. What happened was maybe we both healed in some way. Um, so, I mean, I feel like since I started keeping track of the moon, it's really helped. What did that say? Oh, had to do with my USB device. It's just not in here, so I don't know what the hell it's talking about. Okay. uh, oh, computers are such a pain in the ass. Um, so, um, I feel like, I don't know. It's been a long journey to get to this point where I feel like I actually feel like I can help people out. Because a lot of times I didn't think I had that in me. And I'd go to church and I'd be with people in the church thing, and they'd all be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go help. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help." And I'd be like, "How do I do that? How do I feel that way? How can I feel that way? I can't figure it out." And I tried it with Christianity for years, and it just never resonated with me. Not not the way people were teaching it in my part of the world. Um, Perhaps other parts of the world of Christianity, the way it's taught, maybe it's different. I don't know. Um, but everything I learned was about beating yourself up for the things you can't control. And as somebody with a mental illness, after a while, that kind of thing really gets to you. It's like you're constantly kicking yourself for being you. And now, I'm not going to say my mental illness is me. It's not me. I mean, I am me. But it's part of me. And, I know how it has to be treated. In fact, I did promise I would talk about the curse that I think somebody put on me. And I'm afraid to say it because I know somebody's gonna get me in town. They're gonna say something to me. It doesn't matter. They've already said stuff to me, so it doesn't matter. I have diabetes, and I control it a little bit better than I used to, but it's still not perfect. And plus, sometimes I just don't take showers. Sometimes I just don't feel like it, and I'll go outside and I'll wear like the same clothes that I wore the other day, and I don't smell that great. So people will actually come up to me and say, "You stink." They'll like come up to me in town and say that. And after a while, it really hurts, but I'm like, I know I'm doing it to myself. Anyways, I think somebody put a hex on me and said that this girl, everybody's going to say this girl stinks. Like, they're going to come up to her and say that. And I'll tell you why. Because I was at the psychiatrist's office, and I was sitting in the psychiatrist's office in the waiting room, and these two women come in with this little kid, and I don't know what the relation was, but one of them, the younger woman, she smelled so bad. She smelled like something wrong. Like, I just smelled something wrong. And it wasn't like, oh, she's evil or something. It was more like maybe she used drugs of some sort or something dangerous. Like, it smelled dangerous. She smelled dangerous to me, and I felt like I had to say something. So I told the psychiatrist, I said, somebody smells really bad out there. And I was almost thinking like maybe she needed to go to the hospital or something. And that's why I said it. It wasn't like meant to be like a, a bad thing. It wasn't meant to like put her down or anything. It was just, I just let him know because I was like, boy, this is bad. So, I did that, and somehow the woman that she was with found out that I said this. I don't know how she found this out. Maybe she had heard me. And the next time I had come in to see him, they were coming out the elevator, and she goes, "You said we smell!" I was like, holy shit. Oh my god, are you kidding me? You gonna be that mad over it? So, like, man, somebody with that kind of nasty energy that says something like that, and I mean nasty, I don't know if she smelled bad. It wasn't her. It was her, whoever, her partner, daughter, I have no idea. But she took it as something that affected her, that was like attacking her. Um, yeah, I think she could have put a hex on me. In fact, I read something that said, um, if 3 glasses break within like 3 days, then somebody put a curse on you. And sure enough, that did happen. And it happened like 2 or 3 years ago. And that's when, like right after that happened, that's when people started telling me I smell bad. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I contribute to this, okay? It's not like I smell like lilacs and everybody thinks I smell bad because, like, like, it's not their imagination, is what I'm trying to say. So, when I take a shower, I'm fine. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm fine. I'm just letting you know that. I shouldn't even be talking about this, but I feel like people need to know this kind of stuff because, um, and this has to do with the shadow work. My shadow work had to do with my self-image. I was really self-conscious about this thing. And, I was just like, man, these people keep coming up to me and they keep saying it. And they're like laughing about it. And they're like telling their friends and they're doing all this stuff. And it's just so, it's tough. And it's like, wow, is this going to keep happening? Like, Jesus, So, I had to deal with that shadow within me. I had to deal with that shadow within me and say, okay, where is this coming from? It's not really the damn hex, although there could have been a hex. I have a feeling there was. I think it's about my self-worth and taking care of myself. And like feeling like not feeling that I'm not good enough, but feeling more like, well, I don't go to work, like regular work. I work from home. And I go shopping or whatever, to the Michaels, or I go to the grocery store or something like that. I go to the restaurants, local restaurant. I'm like, oh, I'm just going this place or whatever, and like I just don't think about it. Now, when I do that, it actually is kind of offensive to people because it's like I'm going and saying it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm like polluting somebody's space with that kind of thing. Um, yeah, it sounds really bad. It's like, I sweat a lot, so it's that kind of thing. It's like it's hot down here in Florida. It's just sweat. Like that, like I went to the gym. Like that's what it's like. So, anyways, I had to deal with the shadow in myself that was like, fix this. Fix this thing. You need to fix this thing. This is something that is on your mind, and it's something you need to work on. And it it's tough dealing with shadow work because like the first thing that I think of when I think of it is like almost like, oh, I'm gonna blame this on somebody. It's this person's fault. They did this to me. And it's like the truth is, no, I did it to myself. But I became susceptible to a hex, if it was really a hex, because I let my guard down. So, when you don't take care of yourself, you let people in that are really unsavory, and they will take advantage of you, or they will just kick you. They'll just kick you till you hurt, And you have to rise up and say, no, you're not going to do this to me anymore. But the first thing that you say after that is, I'm not going to do this to me anymore. Say, I'm not going to put myself in this position anymore. I'm not going to make myself susceptible to this type of abuse, because I am going to do everything I can to take care of myself. And that applies to anything. It's not just this thing with me being lazy about showering sometimes, and because I'm just like, oh, I work at home, like who cares? Like, it's not like I have to go to work. Like if I was working retail or something, I mean, you got to be clean, like really clean for that, So that's something that was on my mind, and you just got to stop picking up where somebody else left off. Like if somebody kicked you, you gotta stop kicking yourself. You gotta stop thinking about what that person said or did, and stop kicking yourself. And that's what the shadow work is all about. It came to me last night. That shadow work is all about working on the things that keep you from being in the dark forever. Now, I have a spell book, and I call it my book of light, because they're all blessings. They're all blessings. They're all positive things I like to think of before I go to sleep. To me, the term Book of Shadows is very dark. And I'm not sure I want spells to change something. Like, I'd rather have actions change it. But what my blessing spells do is they help me feel good. They help me feel good enough to take care of myself. I think if you're somebody who tends to think a lot about what other people think of you, then you need to start saying, okay, what can I do to improve myself? And there's nothing wrong with improving yourself to put your best foot forward. That's the key. And I think that's it. I think that's it for this wrap up. Again, check out JJ Constellation. She is awesome. I love her readings, and her readings are all different ranges, but don't worry about the price. Has nothing to do with the reading. Like, the readings are their own, each their own thing. So, like, don't let that, it's just, I love the way she prices her stuff too. It's so cool. Like, well, you just check it out and see what I mean. But each reading is its own thing, and it's like special, and so it has a special price on it. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. That's the only way I can describe it. You just have to check it out. So, okay, so that's her, and I'm going to say that it's time for blessings. So, may you get the rest you need. May you feel the peace in your heart when you find the right answers that you've been looking for. And may you have hope that you can give yourself the answers you need to continue on your journey. Don't give up. Blessings.